Hey you guys, this is part 3 of the Venus in Gemini going retrograde series. Now before we get started, I want to thank you. I'm getting some really beautiful messages. I got some beautiful emails and some YouTube comments from folks who loved I had my karaoke moment on the podcast. There will be more of that. And I sang a little on a previous video, and people sent me beautiful messages, so thank you for those. I get overwhelmed sometimes by messages, so I can't always write people back. But know that I did get them, and I appreciate them very much. And then in the last week or so, I have gotten really, not just beautiful, but heartfelt, interesting messages from people who found my Saturn book. And the Saturn book is going to be 2 years old in just a couple months. And it's amazing to me, and it means so much to me because I feel like the book was a bit of a sleeper. And also I didn't continue with that publisher. I'm working with a new publisher now. So it was kind of like, I don't know how to put it. It was kind of like a deflation, a feeling of being deflated. And then these messages start showing up, and it's such a boost for me as a writer because I'm so old-fashioned. I say this all the time, which is probably annoys some people, that I don't consider, I'm not a content creator. I'm not very good at this, whatever this is. Obviously, I don't have any little fancy graphics for you, and, I'm hiding most of the time. I'm a writer. First and foremost, a writer, and then I became a helper, or maybe I was both all along. But it makes it all worthwhile, so just thank you for folks who took the time to say, hey, this inspired me, or this helped me, or I love it. Especially now, because we're living in crazy times, so to get these beautiful messages, it's like food for me, it's fuel for me, it's energy. Like, yes, I can't wait for you to read the new book when it finally comes up. Please, God, hopefully in 2021, hopefully not that much later. Also, this audio might be a little bit rambly. If you like the rambles, then you will love the podcast, which is getting more and more rambly. All the links will be in the description box for booking a reading, for becoming a patron, the podcast, I forget what else. I'll put it all there. But what I want to talk to you about today is a little more micro. I'm not going to be talking about, the big meaning in this one. I want to talk just about little meaning, because I wanted to alert you to a particular transit a couple weeks out. Now, if you want to get my weekly transit forecast, that's a patron thing. But I'm doing this special Venus and Gemini program here. So I was looking at my book and I was thinking, okay, Venus is going to square Neptune. I better come talk to them about this. And that's on May 3rd. So this is a little ways away. It's about, 2 weeks away? May 3rd, write this down on your calendar. Venus is going to square Neptune. This is a day of rose-colored glasses. This is a day of confusion. This is not a day to get married, all right? This is not, listen to me say it twice, 3 times. This is not a day to get married. This is not a day to get married. Don't do it. There's no clarity. Rose-colored glasses. You see what you want to see. I'm trying not to bang on the table. I keep banging on the table. Those of you who have this, those of you who have a Venus-Neptune signature, especially the square in your natal chart, you know what I'm talking about. You know you don't see them clearly. You know you've had trouble in love. You know that you've been deceived. You know that your love is vast and has no bounds. You know that other people really benefit from your love because you sacrifice. But then you go too far. You could become a martyr. You can get involved only with unavailable people. It can get really bad. It can get really ugly for you. Maybe not for them, because who doesn't want a Venus person to love them and wait on them hand and foot? It's like, I'm here to do whatever you want. Some people like that. So the thing is this, be very careful that weekend in particular, because so that's the beginning of May. This Venus Neptune is very active, all right? So I don't want to say don't fall in love, but all that glitters may not be gold. Don't lend anybody money if you want to see it again. Seriously, you know Venus is love and money. You got to be careful with Venus Neptune. Now, the high side, this is amazing, absolutely amazing for creativity, for writing, for music, for art, for longing, for longing. If you need to get into a state of longing before you create your art, then this is the transit for you. It's perfect for that. I mean, if you have this in your chart, then you know not only do you fall in love with the wrong people, probably addicts, bad Neptune, but you fall in love with great artists, and you know that you need a muse. This is the weekend of the muse. So if you are a creator, content creator, writer, painter, this weekend you could be so inspired. If you're a composer, musician, you will play the most beautiful music. So yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, but there is a dark side. There is absolutely a dark and destructive side to Venus Neptune. And you can spend your entire life in a state of Venus Neptune and not even know it, because Venus just invisibly, nefariously wraps itself around you, and you wake up one day in this lifetime or the next saying, oh, what happened? I don't know. Because it's foggy. It's foggy in there. And we're all going to be feeling this in the collective. There will be lies. I'm telling you, there will be lies this weekend. So we may be lied to. You may be lied to by whichever government is in charge, of your place. Another thing to mention about this day is that the moon will be in Virgo. So we have, you guessed it, a T-square. I gotta mention Sagittarius is the empty leg here, because we're talking about Venus in Gemini, Neptune in Pisces, moon's in Virgo, and then Sag is the leftover of the mutable signs, the empty leg of the T-square. I'm just putting that out there. Putting this out there. All mutable signs. Do I want to say especially Sagittarius? Maybe. You are at risk. You are at risk for falling for something that doesn't exist. Falling in love with someone who doesn't really exist. Seeing what you want to see. Being deceived. So this is mutable signs on alert. What you think you see may not be what is there, may not be what is real. Don't say, I didn't warn you, okay? I'm looking here. That was the main thing that I wanted to talk to you about. I just wanted to make a quick one. Oh. Really? There's not another major aspect until it goes retrograde? Could that be true? So I'm looking ahead in my book. I'm looking. I'm cruising along in my little book here. Venus in Gemini does not, I'm pretty sure this is right. Yeah. Does not make another major aspect until it goes retrograde on May 12th, depending on your time zone, 12th or 13th. Venus in Gemini, that's when it goes retrograde. Let me check the degree, because I know people are degree hounds. I don't blame you for that. 21 degrees. Yeah, Venus moving super fast, goes retrograde at 21. And this is, about 2 weeks after that square to Neptune, that aspect of high art and addiction and escapism and denial and longing. All the planets are like this, meaning there's a higher side and there's a lower side. Greatness can be reached. Art can be made. And you can also get fleeced, It's hard to be human, you guys. It's hard to be human. It's hard to live in astrology. It is. Now, interestingly enough, on this day, the Venus retrograde day. Tell me this isn't a fascinating irony. I think it is. Mars enters Pisces this day. I mean, we're just talking about Venus Neptune. On the day that Venus goes retrograde, Mars enters Pisces. Pisces ruled by Neptune. Now, I have said this before. I believe this is true. I don't care who says it's not true. I've seen this bandied about that it's not true, what I'm about to say. And what I'm about to say, I didn't invent. I learned it, and I believe it is freaking true. Exes come back, or people you were involved with come back, or situations, love situations, money situations, the past comes back with a retrograde, with Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde, there's more of an emphasis on the love and money stuff. It's not necessarily bad. I'm not going to give you some kind of warning, oh, your ex is coming back and steer clear. No, this is case by case. Sometimes things got interrupted and it couldn't be helped because of some other transit, because of some other life event. Do you understand what I'm saying? That was meant to be too. And now it's come back. It's come back because it was supposed to come back. It has come back. Sorry, I really got lost in my grammar there. The point is this. An ex coming back may not necessarily be a bad thing. It may not necessarily be a good thing. It's got to be case by case. There is a reason. There is a reason for it. Listen to it. Listen to what's happening. Listen to your life. Pay attention. Don't just be in Zoom meetings and on the internet all day. Make time for silence. Who was I telling this? I don't know if I was telling this to patrons or yelling about it on Twitter. Probably both. Many of us have more noise in our lives now because we're so desperate. Because of these times, we're so desperate that we're filling up the hours with even more foolishness than usual. So I want to tell you to stop and to try not to do it with the scrolling and the classes and the... Someone was telling me today, oh, it's easy to fill up my day with exercise and online how did he put it? Online classes and home projects. It's like, why are you doing that? We are grieving. It is an opportunity. It is an opportunity. This is not the time to overschedule. I don't care if you're the biggest extrovert on the planet. This guy clearly was. Adventure guy. That's what I called him. Adventure guy. I have no problem filling up my day. Why are you filling up your day? Why? Precisely. What is it you don't want to feel? I recommend that you feel it. Even for 10 minutes, feel it. And then go back to your home projects and your online whatevers. I think it's a terrible risk. It's a terrible waste to take this time and to not tune in. That would be a waste. To not be in this moment, that would be a waste. But the only way you're going to hear what the angels have to say is by listening, and you can only listen when there's quiet. Real quiet. Okay. So Venus goes retrograde mid-May, and we go back, and we review, and we review, and we review, and we review. And then what happens? You guessed it. Because Venus goes retrograde, Venus is going to square Neptune again. We're going to have Venus square Neptune 3 times. 3 times. The second time is on May 20th. Sun enters Gemini that day. That's the second pass of Venus square Neptune. Just keep this in mind, you guys. Keep this in mind. This is a transit of the heart. And if you do this right, you are going to feel things like you have never felt them before. Maybe you don't want that. That's your choice. But you are going to feel things. Get ready to feel, people. Get ready to feel. Venus square Neptune is all about the feels. I don't care what sign it's in, what sign the planets are in. Get ready to feel. I think we should stop here. I think this is a good place to stop. I want to tell you not to make decisions based on the feelings, but I want you to be in the feelings. You know, if it were up to me, feel the feelings, but don't make plans based on them. Make art based on them. Make dreams based on them. Okay, I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. Look in the description box. Information is there. Information is there. There's stuff. There's stuff there for you to look at. I'm like scanning my brain. Is there anything else? Anything else I need to tell them? I don't think so. I think it's time for some dinner. I didn't ramble that much in this one. This one was more a yelling at you kind of lecture. I failed as a ramble. Now I'm rambling, but all right. Here's the rest of the ramble. I'm gonna go eat dinner. You know what I made? You know what I made shortly before this? I finished up with some Patreon videos. And I made chickpea noodles. Someone was making fun of chickpea noodles somewhere, saying that was all that was left on the shelves, that all the wheat, all the normal noodles were gone. And only chickpea were left. Well, I like chickpea noodles. I'm going to have some chickpea noodles. Not sure what I'm going to put on them. I might leave them bland, actually, instead of drenching them in anything. And the workday is done. We will talk again very soon.